We're coming up on 7:59 on your Monday morning drive. The drive times are up, but not bad despite us being in full swing for the morning commute. Let's zoom into the Wilsonville area. I-5 northbound traffic getting busier over the Boone Bridge up past Wilsonville Road. Farther north, a little slower still near the 205 interchange in Tualatin. So give yourself, again, about 35 minutes or so to get in from Wilsonville, or excuse me, 30 minutes from Wilsonville now. I-5 from Clark County, busy at the Interstate Bridge. You would expect that, though. 25 minutes is that southbound commute from Main Street to the Fremont. Get you out the door with a live look at the sky over the Cascades. That's Mount Jefferson off in the distance. Pretty shot there. The east slope there catching a little bit of early sunshine, but the clouds are moving in ahead of our next weather system, which is going to bring us rain later on today. Broken cloud cover over downtown right now at 59. There's our system. It's off to the south and west. Clouds steadily increase throughout the day, and the rain chance increases throughout the day. Our best bet for rain, measurable rain, probably after the evening commute, but before that, daytime highs climb into the upper 70s.
Right now on KGW Plus, members of the community are remembering the life of Melissa Jubain, a Beaverton nurse who was killed just over a year ago. We have the latest on her suspected killer and when he'll be back in court.
Plus, still no school today for students in the Evergreen School District and for kids in La Center schools. Staff at both districts remain on strike. We'll have the latest on the ongoing negotiations. Then later.
I gave him the name Rudolph because his nose was all red.
And coming up at 8:15, you'll meet Rudy again. You might remember this little guy when our crews found him during the height of the Rowena fire in June. We'll show you how he's doing today as your 8 o'clock hour of sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Rod Hill has the day off, but Chris McGinnis is here doing the job of two men. He's got your traffic, he's got your weather. Let's start with the forecast, Chris.
Duty. Which one are we doing first? Oh, yes, thank you for clarifying. The forecast first. I wanted to take you up to Timberline Lodge, a pretty shot here of Mount Jefferson. Literally a couple minutes ago, we had a bright white patch of snow there with the sun gleaming on the east slope of Mount Jefferson, but the clouds are moving in, and that is a sign of things to come. So as we check out our Wells Fargo sky camera over downtown, pretty sunrise shot there with Mount Hood off in the distance, and at last check, 59 degrees at PDX this morning. There's the weather system we're watching. It is throwing some cloud cover our way and eventually some rain. In fact, it looks like there might be some showers falling in the Umpqua Basin, right down towards the Medford area, and working their way northward as we go through the day today. So that is the plan, increasing clouds, but dry for the morning. Mostly dry this afternoon, but I can't completely rule out a shower threat once we get into the 3-4 o'clock hour and beyond. By far the best chance for showers in Portland is going to be probably the tail end of the evening commute and into this evening. Daytime highs before any rain moves in will climb into the upper 70s. Let's get you out the door with the look at the roads in your I-5 drive building from Wilsonville. That's just shy of 30 minutes, one of our slower commutes, so we'll take you there. The drive into Wilsonville over the Boone Bridge from Charbonneau, getting busy, puttering along at about 19 miles an hour or so there. Up to the north, it gets even slower right around the 205 interchange in Tualatin. So again, around 30 minutes or so the commute from that side of town. I-5 from Clark County, busy but moving. 25 minutes gets you in from Main Street. And a reminder, we've been talking about this all morning long. This is big for folks that ride the MAX blue and red lines. TriMet doing maintenance work in the Robertson Tunnel, so they're using shuttle buses all week to serve stops between the Sunset Transit Center and Providence Park. So get a 45-minute head start on your commute. That's what TriMet is recommending if that's your commute this morning and all week long, guys. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Chris. Top story here at 8 o'clock. It's been 1 year since a Beaverton nurse mysteriously disappeared. Her body was found 2 days later and just 2 weeks after her wedding.
Her neighbor was arrested and charged with murder. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us from the Washington County Courthouse with an update on the case. Thomas?
Hey, good morning, guys. And yeah, Melissa Jubain's alleged killer, Bryce Schubert, again, her neighbor, is slowly working his way through the court system. On Friday, he's expected to have a hearing here at the Washington County Courthouse. And over the weekend, there was also a vigil held to honor Jubain more than a year after she went missing and to remember her. On September 4th of last year, Jubain was reported missing when she didn't show up to work at Providence St. Vincent. 2 days later, her remains were found and Schubert was arrested. Along with first-degree murder, he was charged with kidnapping and abuse of the corpse. The two lived in the same apartment complex in Beaverton. Jubain had recently gotten married. During this weekend's vigil, many who attended wanted to highlight her story.
It is not an isolated one. There are so many victims of violence against women, and it is caused by the same system. The same one that caused Melissa's death is the same one that is harming women who are in the workplace, in the home.
Supporters of Jubain are planning to be here for that hearing on Friday, and before it starts at 2:30, they plan to gather outside the Washington County Courthouse to continue to rally and push for justice. Drew, China.
All right, Thomas Schultz outside the county courthouse for us all morning long. Thank you, Thomas. Meanwhile, a memorial is set up outside a southeast Portland home where 3 people were found dead Saturday afternoon. Officers responded to a suicide call at this home on Southeast 64th, 2 blocks from Brentwood City Park. When they went inside, they say they found 1 man dead and 2 women dead. Investigators believe all 3 were related. Here's Portland Police Chief Bob Day.
First and foremost mission of the Portland Police Bureau is the preservation of life. And it saddens us deeply when we arrive too late to maybe intervene or interdict and complete that mission.
Portland Police is asking anyone with more information about what happened on Saturday to give them a call.
Pacific County deputies in Long Beach, Washington arrested a juvenile on attempted murder charges after the teen tried to stab someone multiple times. It happened at a home just after 12:30 Saturday afternoon. Witnesses told police they saw a 15-year-old boy follow the victim with a knife after a fight. That's when the teen attempted to stab the victim multiple times. Bystanders were able to restrain him and disarm the teen without anyone getting hurt.
A man was hit and killed by a car on I-5 while trying to run away from police in North Portland Saturday night. Officers say they tried to pull the man over on North Rosa Parks Way, but he took off in his car. And according to police, he wound up crashing near the Rosa Parks on-ramp to I-5. He got out and started running across the freeway, and they say he was hit by a passing car. The driver of that car did stop and is cooperating with investigators.
Evergreen Public School leaders have canceled classes again for the 9th day after negotiations between the union representing classified workers fell through once again. And now the district is threatening legal action if a deal isn't reached soon. So the district may ask a judge to compel the union to end its strike, which they say is illegal under Washington state law. The school board says legal action is a last resort. The district said bargaining team will meet again today.
Schools in La Center will also be closed again today and definitely through Wednesday because of the ongoing teacher strike in that district. Negotiations with the teachers union continue, but the La Center School District has already said if they can't reach an agreement by 6 o'clock tomorrow night, schools will be closed for the rest of the week.
Over the weekend, pop culture fans of all sorts, all sorts.
Slimer.
Yeah, invaded the Oregon Convention Center for Rose City Comic Con. From comics, movies, TV shows, and more, tens of thousands of people came out to meet artists and creators, fellow fans. This year's event featured events with local ties, including Saturday's Goonies reunion for the 40th anniversary, along with signings for new releases.
I'm writing Batman #1. It literally came out on Wednesday, a brand new volume of Batman, and it felt like this is an appropriate time to come out and say thanks and sign my name a bunch of times and meet people who do this and make it possible for me to do this.
There was also a chance for people to learn. Oregon State University researchers were there all weekend demonstrating advanced robotics.
I like that robots can be used to help people. This robot, Sammy, is one that we've designed to be used in like assisted living facilities, stuff like that, skilled nursing facilities. So I like that people can just, they can do things that help people and make the world a better place.
Next year's Comic-Con will be Friday, September 11th.
Saw R2-D2 from Star Wars there. Now, I know this is a bad idea, Chris, given that China has a lack of movie knowledge, specifically Star Wars
80s
movie knowledge.
Now, be kind.
I didn't hear you say.
I'm sure she's seen more movies than we have in the 90s.
Talking about 80s movies, specifically Star Wars movies. So here we go.
Okay.
I'm going to do some characters. You're going to tell me who it is.
Okay.
R2-D2, where are you? C-3PO. No? Nothing? No. How about this one?
Are you okay? No.
You know who that is, Chris?
He's really good at that, China.
You know who it is, Chris?
Chewbacca.
There you go. And lastly but not leastly, there is no try. Do.
Dobby?
Or do not.
Darby?
Darby?
Oh, that's Lord of the Rings.
Darby's where I grew up outside of Philadelphia. That's Yoda.
Were you upper or lower?
There is no, the joke is, there's an upper Darby. I grew up in Darby. There is no lower Darby because you can't get any lower than Darby. Yeah.
Wow.
Tough town where I grew up, Chris.
All right.
What do you have for a weather forecast outside of Darby?
I can't do sound effects like that. You do the best Chewbacca that I've ever heard, by the way. Let's take you down to Lane County. Lightning strikes now showing up down south of the Eugene area, heading down towards the Coburg area or not Coburg, but south of Eugene, I should say, and heading down into Douglas County as well. We'll keep our eyes on these. There's also a little cell that just popped up along Highway 20 in Lynn County. So again, things are starting to percolate in the southern Willamette Valley. We are hours away, of course, from any of that working its way into the metro area. But we'll keep our eyes on that, as that is part of our weather feature for today. Over the last 3 hours, some showers south towards Roseburg and up towards Eugene. Again, that's the leading edge of our next weather system, which will eventually bring us some showers in the metro area. All right, downtown Portland, we've watched the cloud cover thicken up a little bit more. Last check, at the airport anyway, we're up to 59 degrees. And again, there's the storm system that we're watching. It's going to take a general track through like Northern California and South Central Oregon. So we're going to be in the northern periphery of that through the day today, but the showers will be on the uptick, I think, by our evening commute. And then we turn a little wet overnight tonight, a little wet tomorrow, and possibly a little wet still on Wednesday as well. So the first half of the work week features a few chances for showers. The back half of the week, drier and warmer. We're back up to near 80 degrees as we go to Friday. All right, let's get you out the door and a live look at the roads right now. We take you to Clark County. That's I-5 near the Interstate Bridge. The end of the line on I-5 has made its way to the Interstate Bridge. From there, though, it's busy the rest of the way down into town. Over on the west side, the inbound Sunset, slow and go, 26 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough. And the drive coming up from Wilsonville, we'll focus in on that again. It actually looks better now than it did a few minutes ago at Wilsonville Road, but we get up to the 205 interchange. And that's pretty slow. Moving from right to left, that's the northbound I-5 drive. So that's one of our thicker commutes out there this morning. We'll keep you posted, guys.
All right, thank you, Mac Man.
When I first saw him and my mom sent me a video, I was really sad how bad he looked. But to see him healthy now, it's just amazing.
Coming up here on Sunrise, an update on the kitten that was actually rescued by one of our crews covering the Rowena fire near the Dalles back in June. You see Thomas Schultz holding the kitten there. Thomas is going to have the update for us coming up.
A new NBC News poll shows the top concerns for Americans. This as Chicago prepares for the president to make good on his threat to send National Guard troops there to crack down on crime. I'm Bofti Imam in Washington with details.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
It's been 2 weeks since crews started battling the immigrant fire east of Eugene near Oak Ridge. Now fire officials say it's still 0% contained. It's burned nearly 32,000 acres, but they say it has slowed down at this point. Conditions were better over the weekend with cooler temperatures and higher humidity. Parts of the Willamette and Umpqua forests are still closed because of this fire.
And out of the fast-growing Black Rock fire burning northeast of Madras, this fire, which sparked Thursday, has now burned more than 32,000 acres. As of this morning, it's 10% contained. There are some level 2 evacuation notices here in Wasco, Sherman, and Wheeler counties, with some people in Wheeler also under level 3 go now orders.
Good news from the Deschutes County Fire Department, where officials say the flat fire is now secure. This one has burned more than 23,000 acres this summer, but all evacuation notices in that area are dropped at this point. Crews will stay on site to look out for hot spots until a heavy dose of fall or winter weather knocks the hot spot potential completely out.
You may remember earlier this summer, one of our KGW crews found a kitten badly burned while covering the Rowena fire near the Dalles. And this morning we have a happy update.
3 months later, Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz checks in to see how Rudy is doing. Here's Feline Tommy with the latest.
As we are covering the wildfire, we are also obviously monitoring a lot of what's going on in the devastation.
Oh, horrible.
In the worst of times, it's possible to find what makes you whole. We're just in Rowena. We were going door knocking. 3 months ago, disaster struck Wasco County. A wildfire rushed through Rowena, charring land, flooring homes, and injuring animals. Though since then, for one kitten,
Rudy!
everything's changed.
There he is!
Hey, buddy. This is Rudy. He was a stray without a home when we met him in June, sitting outside an abandoned home during the fire. His nose was badly burned, his fur charred, his breathing barely noticeable. We rushed him to the vet, straight to Megan.
I gave him the name Rudolph because his nose was all red.
3 months later,
Now he's like perfect.
he's unrecognizable. Megan, a vet assistant in the Dalles, adopted Rudolph, or Rudy for short.
The paws and his tail and his ears and face had all the burns.
Day after day, she peeled off old bandages, supplied treatment, and wrapped Rudy's paws again.
So his paws must have been in pretty bad shape.
Yeah, they were the worst. They were the worst part. And he's got a toe on his back that fused together from the fire.
Early on, Megan says vets were concerned Rudy's paws might become infected. If so, they'd have to amputate.
When I first saw him and my mom sent me a video, I was really sad how bad he looked. But to see him healthy now, it's just amazing.
Within like a week, it was like a miraculous recovery. And then 2 weeks, it was like nothing had ever happened to him.
And now, a few months later,
He's turned into a handsome fella.
Rudy's made a full recovery.
He jumps around, he does parkour off of the furniture.
Far away from a life-changing fire, this formerly stray kitten is busy with his family, exploring his new home.
He has definitely made his mark here.
In the Dalles, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
It's unfortunate that we don't have little Rudy just crawling across the desk right now.
He wouldn't be. He'd be in your arms.
He would absolutely be in my arms. Okay, so he knows
Love
me.
the purr.
We gave the reporter there, Thomas Schultz, our favorite Sunrise reporter, Thomas Schultz, a new nickname. Feline Tommy, after that report.
Yeah.
And gave you a new nickname this morning. Did you hear that one?
What was the C-Mac?
Called you the Mac Man.
Mac Man, all right.
Mac Man in this morning, do the
Mac
job
Man.
of two men. He's got your weather, he's got your traffic.
Right, he'll be back tomorrow, but in the meantime, let's get you your weather report. And I wanted to start off. Say again?
No, never mind. So you mean the Rodster?
The Rodster. Oh, yeah, the Rodster. I do the Rodster dance. I won't ever bring that back. That just hurt my ego. All right, let's pick it up down in Lane County. Some showers and maybe a rumble of thunder down towards Cottage Grove and Cresswell and Yoncalla down in Douglas County as well. These lightning strikes, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this cell showing that the atmosphere is starting to get a little active again, well down to the south, but the energy that's driving this is lifting its way northward here at about 20, 30 miles an hour. So if that tracks out just right, we could see showers developing in the metro area, could by as early as noontime today. As we go out a little wider, we've actually seen the showers just pop up out in the Cascades of Lynn County as well, south and east of the Staten area. So again, things are becoming a little more interesting here as we roll the clock on Futurecast. Our modeling doesn't do a great job of picking up these early morning showers, but it does indicate, at 11 o'clock, showers from Mount Hood south to Mount Jefferson and then through portions of Marion, Lynn, and Lane counties. Extrapolate that over the next, 3 hours, and we start to see the showers become a little more widespread, maybe in the Coast Range. It's interesting that at least this model tries to keep the I-5 corridor dry. I mean, I still think we could see a shower here in Portland for the early afternoon, but odds favor later in the afternoon for the tail end of the afternoon commute in this evening. In fact, this is at 10 o'clock with that piece of energy sort of rotating right overhead. Again, probably a better bet for showers towards the tail end of the afternoon commute and into this evening. That storm system continues tracking on through south central Oregon. We're on the northern periphery of that here in the Portland-Vancouver metro area. So the rain that we see won't likely be as heavy and as steady as what folks to the south towards Salem and east towards Bend and points south of there will see. And that's great that we're getting needed rainfall in areas of the state that are still dealing with wildfires, right? That's always good news. Anywhere could use rain. Wherever we can get it, we'll take it. All right, this morning, the clouds building in. I've got us dry through noon, and then we begin to see the shower threat increase later on today. That's not to say that we start instantly getting wet at 2 o'clock, but the shower threat increases. I still think the best bet for wet weather, widespread wet weather in the metro area, is probably going to be the tail end of the afternoon commute and beyond. Okay, speaking of your commute, a reminder for folks on the west side, if you ride TriMet, specifically the Max Blue and Red lines from the west side, TriMet's doing work in the Robertson Tunnel all week long. And so to do that, they are using shuttle buses to serve the Max Blue and Red line stops from the Sunset Transit Center to Providence Park. That's through the day on Saturday. TriMet's advising riders to plan about 45 minutes ahead to allow for that extra time of the shuttle buses versus the Max trains. All right, the drive times itself, they're not bad. 25 minutes now to get you in from Hillsborough, 26 minutes from Wilsonville. There's a live look at the Sylvan Hill, and this is pretty normal for this hour of a Monday morning drive. We'll take you down to Tualatin, I-5 through the 205 interchanges, puttering along a little bit there as well. And last but not least, the trip out of Clark County. The end of the line now on I-5 has made its way across the interstate bridge, but once you do, you hit the wall of traffic right at the Expo Center. So it's about a 19-minute ride from the bridge down to, down to the other bridge to bridge, from the interstate bridge to the Fremont Bridge. China, back to you.
Thank you, Chris.
We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our city.
President Trump doubles down on his threat to send the National Guard into Chicago, why he says it's necessary, and the strong reaction ahead on Sunrise.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
People had a chance to give their opinions on President Trump's policies that impact both health and wealth.
And a new NBC News poll showed mixed reaction when Americans when it comes to the president's latest moves. Here's the details.
At the U.S. Open Sunday, the president's presence brought mixed reactions. This as a new NBC poll shows the president's approval rating at 43% amid threats to go to war with an American city over a crime crackdown.
Are you threatening to go to war with Chicago?
When you say that, darling, that's fake news.
Well, why would you use the Department of Defense?
I call it a threat. I call it embarrassing.
I would call it performative.
Despite this post on Saturday where the president appeared to threaten war on Chicago, by Sunday, he walked it back.
We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our city.
The administration staying on the defensive after the latest jobs report highlighted a dramatic slowdown in the labor market.
And so I think that what's going on is that these old-fashioned ways of surveying, we've got to modernize the way we do the labor data.
The NBC News poll showed only 39% support how the president is dealing with inflation and cost of living, and only 41% of Americans approved of the president's handling of trade and tariffs. As the tariffs continue to cause confusion for businesses and higher prices for consumers, the White House had this to say.
So just bottom line, Mr. Secretary, do you acknowledge that these tariffs are a tax on American consumers?
No, I don't.
Over the last few weeks, lawmakers have had growing concerns and questions over public health and access to vaccines, grilling Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in a hearing. And the NBC News poll showing an overwhelming 78% of Americans support vaccines. In Washington, Bofti Imam, NBC News.
Now to your morning rush. 5 people are dead and several more were injured after a shooting in Jerusalem. It happened this morning on the outskirts of the city at a bus stop. Israeli police described the shooting as a terrorist attack and said that the perpetrators had been killed at the scene. An Australian cook convicted of killing 3 relatives with the world's most toxic mushrooms in 2023 has been sentenced to life in prison. 50-year-old Erin Patterson will be eligible for parole in 33 years. Patterson has maintained her innocence. And the South Korea workers arrested during an immigration enforcement operation at a Hyundai facility in Georgia last week will be sent back to Korea. Almost 500 people were arrested during the investigation into the alleged unlawful employment at the plant. South Korea's president says negotiations for the release have concluded and a charter plane will assist their return to Korea.
The family of a man killed in a road rage incident in downtown Portland is suing both Multnomah County and Uber. We'll have details on this lawsuit coming up in our next half hour. Plus,
it's overwhelming. It's so physically beautiful.
A new apartment complex in North Portland is giving people who were forced out of the Albina neighborhood a way to come back. The details on this initiative also coming up in our 8:30 half hour.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning, I'm Drew Carney. It's been 1 year since Beaverton nurse Melissa Jubain was reported missing. Her body was found 2 days later. Her neighbor, Bryce Schubert, was arrested and charged with her murder. Schubert is due back in court later this week. Jubain's friends and family say they plan to rally outside the Washington County Courthouse to push for justice. All right, Chris McGinnis in the Weather Center. What's happening, Chris?
Got the radar dusted off, and in fact, radar is showing some lightning strikes south of the Eugene area. So we'll keep our eyes on this over the next several hours as the atmosphere starts to get a little more favorable for that shower activity lifting northward. That is our next weather system. It's taking basically a beeline into Northern California. We're on the northern periphery of that, but the clouds are already building in. We're 59 last check at PDX. We're dry through the morning, confident on that, but as we get into the afternoon, the shower chances increase, most likely after the evening commute, but we could see a shower somewhere in this 3 to 6 time frame. Be aware of that as daytime highs inch into the upper 70s. Thereafter, a little wet for the remainder of our 74, or for the next couple days anyway, for Tuesday and Wednesday.
Good morning. Do you know what you're looking at? Any idea?
It looks like a bear.
Yep.
Is it? Oh, it is a bear. Okay.
Yep. It's never fun when your stomach hurts, even if you're a 200-pound bear. In Istanbul, Turkey, a bear needed an MRI after being, binge eating too much fruit and getting a stomach ache. I get it. Video of him getting scanned went viral online, what you just saw there. And the good news is the MRI came back clean. Bear is now back at his wildlife center. But this isn't the first fruity fiasco here. He pulled the same stunt a few years ago, and now workers are trying to put him on a stricter diet.
So he doesn't live in the wild. He lives in a wildlife care center.
Yeah.
Where in theory they're supposed to be taking care of him.
Yes.
So why is he eating too much food?
Too much for him.
He's sneaky.
Hey, boo-boo.
He's sneaky.
Hey, boo-boo, let's check out that picnic basket.
Watch out for the honeybees. All right. Cool if you weren't up early this morning. This is a pretty look at a sunrise that we shot from our Chehalem tasting room camera. Watch in just a couple of seconds. Watch that sunlight just fire up the sky, and then it's fleeting because the clouds are moving in, and those clouds are a precursor of some rain coming our way. We do have some showers and even some thunder showers now showing up in the southern Willamette Valley, down in the Eugene area, from Eugene down towards Crestwell, Cottage Grove, more lightning even farther south down towards the Rogue Valley. So we'll keep our eyes on that over the last 3 hours. It's just now beginning to enter frame here. So cloud cover definitely moving in. That's our next weather system that will increase the clouds and eventually the shower threat here in Portland, but probably not until this afternoon. So we're dry out there now. We'll be dry likely through the noon hour. 59 degrees last check at PDX. As we get into the afternoon, that shower chance increases. Not everyone will see one, but just be aware that towards afternoon and evening commute time, the shower threat increases, and it increases even more as we head into this evening with daytime highs in the upper 70s. All right, let's start off with the traffic map, and we're in full swing. Things are definitely busy out there. I got a couple of crash icons popping up on side streets. I don't have anything on the freeways to report in terms of crashes at last check. There was something hanging up the drive on the Banfield a few minutes ago. This is the live look, by the way, from 82nd Avenue, I-84 westbound, moving from the lower right to the upper left-hand part of your screen. So we're a little slow and go on that side of town for sure. Right now, that trip in from Troutdale is averaging about 27 minutes on I-84 westbound. The end of the line from Clark County on I-5 has made its way to here. This is the Expo Center. You cross the bridge and then you hit the brakes, and it's like this all the way down to the Fremont Bridge. At last check, about 21 minutes now from Main Street South to I-405. China?
Thank you, Chris. We have a breaking news this morning. 2 people are now displaced after a truck rammed into a car, which then rammed into their building. This happened overnight on Southeast 52nd and Raymond Street. Fire crews say that the truck veered off the road and flew into the air after hitting a curb. The truck then hit a parked sedan, which then pushed it into the house. The kitchen and the foundation of the home were damaged. The driver of the truck was injured and sent to the hospital.
In other local headlines this morning, the family of a man killed in a downtown Portland road rage incident is suing Multnomah County and Uber for $40 million.
The family of Ryan Martin claims that the man who shot him, Jeffrey Hammond, should not have been able to receive a concealed handgun license because of prior arrests for assault. Now, the suit also says that Uber should have been aware of Hammond's history and refused to let him drive for the company. Almost 2 years ago, security footage shows Hammond shoot Martin after a brief confrontation outside the Moxie Hotel. Portland attorney Tom Diamore said recently that he's seen a rise in these kinds of cases.
I think it's a valid case that should be pursued. I think I'm a strong proponent that attorneys need to pursue these cases more.
Diamore says cases against local government and companies could lead to stronger regulation and possibly less gun violence. We reached out to Multnomah County and Uber, but for a comment, we have not heard back.
Gresham police say Officer Hector Carranza has resigned while a criminal investigation involving dozens of charges against him continues. Those charges include rape and child sex abuse. Carranza has been on leave since last November. That's when Gresham police say they first learned about a complaint against him. He had been with the department since 2014 and has pleaded not guilty.
Skamania County officials say a recent Department of Natural Resources decision will hurt them. The county has a long history in the timber industry, and the county says newly announced conservation efforts will hinder revenue and essential services. Jake Holter has a story.
Well, a Skamania County commissioner we spoke with says the decision by DNR to conserve more forest will take a toll on the county's critical public services because of lost timber revenue.
We are dependent on this revenue. The schools are dependent on this revenue.
Last month, Washington Commissioner of Public Lands Dave Upthegrove announced an additional 77,000 acres of older state-owned forest is being conserved.
What we're doing today is the largest forest conservation action in Washington in a generation. It will accelerate our progress on climate and habitat goals, create room for innovation, and diversify revenue, while ensuring sustainable timber harvests continue elsewhere to support our schools and our counties.
But Skamania County Commissioner Asa Leckie says he's concerned by this move.
It's a death by 1,000 cuts. As more and more land is put off limits, it's going to directly impact the timber county's revenue for local government and the schools.
Leckie says timber revenue accounts for about a third of the county's budget.
We're going into the budget cycle right now, and we're already looking at making moves in anticipation of losing any portion of our timber revenue.
Leckie says these moves could be putting new county positions on hold or having to turn down sheriff's office requests, which he says is troubling as calls continue to increase.
We saw record calls through January and March already this year, and this increases the cost and current expense in overtime. So the sheriff's office is dealing with that.
Leckie adds that only 2% of county land is developable right now, as the vast majority is state or federal land, which makes it difficult to diversify revenue streams.
We're Timber County. The encumbrances of federal and state land, and until some other mechanism is constructed to compensate the revenue loss, we have to fight to keep that revenue.
We reached out to Washington DNR to ask how many of those 77,000 acres would be in Skamania County and have not yet heard back. Jake Holter, KGW News.
Portland's West Hills were buzzing with chainsaws over the weekend as more than 100 professional arborists helped trim trees at the Hoyt Arboretum. This happened Saturday. It's the 38th year that volunteers have donated their time and their expertise to help freshen up the towering 200-acre collection of trees.
Sometimes there's dead wood that hangs in trees that needs to be cleared. There are storms that come through, sometimes knock trees down or create problems.
Just went up the Grand Fir to help get all the dead wood out. That's a target to people walking on the path, and just pulled my rope out. We left a couple of stubs here as habitat for birds.
This event began back in 1987 with just 8 arborists. It's grown to include 37 companies that bring out crews to volunteer.
The grand opening of a new apartment building in the Albina neighborhood marks a pivotal step in the restoration of Portland's historically black neighborhood. So back in the 1960s, the construction of I-5 and Veterans Memorial Coliseum displaced Albina residents. Now, more than 60 years later, the new Albina 1 complex is giving people a chance to return. Most units will be leased through Portland's North-Northeast preference policy, ensuring housing for families displaced from the area.
This is evidence of what you can do when you dream big and you gather people and you don't let go. It's overwhelming. It's so physically beautiful. This is a real study in bringing everything together, history and restoration and resilience.
The 94-unit complex features 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments, all designated as affordable housing. 1 bedrooms range from $676 to just over $1,000 a month.
From the Albina neighborhood, we head over to Chehalem Tasting Room Skycam in Sherwood. Live look this morning of the sunrise. We've been seeing it all morning. Lots of cloud cover in the area. Chris McGinnis stepping back into the picture here with the latest on our Monday forecast.
Gorgeous sky camera, right? The silhouette of Mount Hood and the cloud cover building in. Those clouds, eventually, the farther south you go, are starting to yield some rain. And in fact, even some thunder. Check this out. Lightning strikes being detected just south of the Eugene area and then farther south towards Crestwell, Cottage Grove, etc., down the I-5 corridor. Now, these are hours away, but the point is that our next storm system is beginning to trek northward. In fact, there's a little cell that just popped up in the Lynn County Cascades east of the Staten area, or south and east of Staten, along Highway 20. All right, let's go a little wider. There's the system we're tracking, and again, it's pushing clouds and some mid-level moisture our way, so that's why we're starting to see some of these bands of green here. A lot of that not reaching the ground just yet, but eventually, as you get farther south, again, down towards Lynn County and into Lane and Douglas counties, those showers are reaching the ground. So Futurecast, the resolution here is not real good to pick up what's happening right now. It does indicate showers in the Cascades. It does indicate some energy working its way through Lane and Lynn and eventually into Marion County. This may actually be a little behind the times, so to speak. So we might have to advance this timeline up a little bit. But the point is that our morning commute's dry. It will remain dry here in Portland, and eventually, as the clouds fill in, the shower chances increase later today, especially during the afternoon and the evening commute. So this is at 10 o'clock. Again, after the evening commute, Futurecast has this, rain over the area. If we bump this up an hour or two, you get the idea that the tail end of the afternoon commute could be a bit wet here in the Portland-Vancouver metro area. That system continues slipping on off to the south, but we're right on the northern periphery, so that'll keep us at least with a chance of showers going in the forecast, not only tonight, but tomorrow and Wednesday as well. So look for clouds thickening with the shower chance maybe by 2, 3 o'clock here, and then lingering showers on Tuesday and Wednesday, and obviously that will keep our temperatures a bit on the cooler side. We go from 76 today to only 70 for a high on Tuesday, and then we start to warm it up a little bit and dry it out towards the end of the week. Okay, let's get you out the door. And first off, a reminder for folks that ride TriMet's Max Blue and Red lines. TriMet's doing work in the Robertson Tunnel all week. So as they do that, they're going to be using shuttle buses to serve Blue and Red line stops between Sunset Transit Center and Providence Park. So TriMet says plan 45 minutes ahead for your normal Max commute, if that is what you do on a day-to-day basis. Your freeway drive in from the west side, it's busy, but it's moving. 23 minutes. Highway 26, that's the drive time in from Hillsborough right now. There's a live look at the Sylvan Hill, so slow and go from there to the tunnel. I-5 through Tualatin, busy, of course. I-84 busy, but none of these drive times are way out of whack. And as we take up into North Portland, the end of the line from Clark County has made its way down to the Expo Center. Guys?
Thank you, Chris. From vaccine confusion to a new headline about Tylenol and autism, health officials across the U.S. are scrambling to clear up the confusion. We'll break down what's really happening when we come back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
With changing guidelines for the COVID vaccine, states are taking some decisions into their own hands at this point and also creating their own plans.
And meanwhile, the Department of Health and Human Services is reportedly planning to release a review, linking autism to pregnant women using Tylenol. NBC's Marissa Parrott has the latest.
This morning, back to school is being met with vaccine confusion. With changing guidelines for the COVID vaccine, states taking some decisions into their own hands, including Florida, which is planning to drop many vaccine requirements for school kids this year. The state's Surgeon General, who last week compared the current vaccine policies to slavery, doubling down over the weekend.
Did you do any data projection of how many new cases of these diseases there will be in Florida once you remove vaccine mandates?
Absolutely. So absolutely not. The way you're portraying it is nonsense. We don't need to do any projections. We handle outbreaks all the time. So there's nothing special that we would need to do.
Parents wondering what to do.
If Florida drops the mandate, so many more families will then not get vaccinated.
A number of states nationwide are scrambling to create their own plans amid chaos at the CDC and recent changes implemented by Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
I've been brought in as the new manager, and my job is to shake up the organization.
Kennedy's sister and nephew joining calls for his resignation over his vaccine skepticism. The president last week weighing in on vaccines.
And I think you have to be very careful when you say that some people don't have to be vaccinated. Look, you have vaccines that work.
And now another possible flashpoint of confusion. According to a Wall Street Journal report citing people familiar with the matter, the HHS plans to release a review linking autism to pregnant women's use of acetaminophen, the active ingredient in Tylenol. An HHS spokesperson tells NBC News, quote, "Until we release the final report, any claims about its contents are nothing more than speculation." The maker of Tylenol maintains their evaluations have found, quote, "no causal link between acetaminophen use during pregnancy and autism."
Study after study has actually shown that there's no causal link with Tylenol and pregnancy and autism.
All right, your time now is 8:46. We are taking a live look out from our sky cam at the Vancouver waterfront. It is very cloudy out there today. Are we going to see sun at any point today, Chris?
Well, we did. You just had to be up early to watch it. Remember?
It already happened?
Sunrise, it already happened? A
little bit.
Now it's gone. But you know what? I'll bring back the time lapse a little bit later. Yes, and to China's point, no, not any longer, right? The clouds are building back in, and I wanted to take you down to the Eugene area, the latest scan of radar. In fact, let's go ahead and slice through this. This is kind of cool. The radar goes up and into the sky, and it shows us, how high we're seeing these radar returns. And we start seeing them getting over, okay, so each one of these lines represents 10,000 feet. So 22,000 feet for radar returns. There's some vigor to these showers. So hence the lightning strike data that's being reported down towards Eugene and point south down into Douglas County as well. So we'll keep our eyes on that as those start to march their way northward. Convection thunderstorms are popping up ahead of this ahead of the main band of showers, which is still quite a bit offshore. There's the low that's driving this weather our way, and it will continue to do so over the next 36 hours. The actual storm center is going to track generally across northern California or south central Oregon. So that's where the bulk of the steady rain is going to fall with this system. But again, you're already seeing some of those thunder showers pop up ahead of that. Modeling struggles with convection, with thunderstorms and the timing, and I think we're also maybe a little late on what our modeling is showing here. If we bump this up about 2 hours, it's probably a little bit more realistic. So the point is that showers are beginning to work their way northward up the I-5 corridor and into the Salem area, maybe by about 11 o'clock. It's not guaranteed that you're going to see a shower. It's just that your chance of showers goes up markedly in that time. Later this afternoon, you can see it's like Portland's surrounded by showers, but the modeling is not implicitly saying Portland will have showers. The point is this afternoon our shower chance increases. That system continues to track on off to the north and east, and as it does, the showers will be more frequent south of Portland. So Salem, over towards Bend, North of Portland, up towards Longview and Kelso, you'll be on the far northern periphery, so your rain tallies will be less. And that's what this map is showing us between now and Wednesday. Not a lot of rainfalls up in Cowlitz County and points north, more rainfalls in Marion County and points south, and pick your favorite place in between. That's about what the range is looking like for the next couple of days. Dry today. Clouds thickening, though, certainly, and again, the shower chance noon or into the early afternoon here in Portland. We may see 1 or 2 showers and then a long break, but the shower chances continue increasing throughout the day and into this evening. I think Tuesday morning could be a little wet, so maybe a wet morning commute tomorrow and then on and off wet for Tuesday and Wednesday before we dry it out and warm it back up. Thursday, Friday, Saturday look like dry days. In fact, a good deal of sunshine for at least the first half of the weekend. The second half, maybe a different story. All right, let's get you out the door. There's a live look at the drive times. They are not looking bad. And speaking of will we see sun or not, I think we've got a little bit of sun glare. Or not sun glare, but evidence of sun with the shadows here on the Sylvan Hill. This is Skyline Boulevard, and that's Highway 26 down below. The drive still a little thick on that side of town as it is down towards Tualatin. This is I-5 at the 205 interchange. Your northbound commute moving from the bottom right to the upper left. So that's a little slow and go there as well. At last check, the trip through North Portland and out of Vancouver, we've cleared out the Clark County commute, and the end of the line now has made its way to just south of the Expo Center. But from there, take a number. You've got company from basically Columbia Boulevard down to the Fremont Bridge, puttering along at about 22 miles an hour. Drew?
Thank you, Chris. From Traffic Time, we go birthday time, and we start with this 9-year-old right there. Happy birthday to Grayson this morning. Hope you have a great day, buddy. 70 years before Grayson was born, this beautiful man entered the world. We're talking about Ron Gump. Happy birthday, Mr. Gump. If you'd like a birthday to be shared here on the air, all you have to do is email us. That email address is birthdays@kgw.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Here's a quick recap of some of our top local stories this morning. 2 people are out of their home after a truck hit a parked car, pushing the car into their Southeast Portland apartment building. This happened overnight at 52nd and Raymond Street. Firefighters say the truck veered off the road and flew through the air after hitting a curb before finally slamming into that parked car. The building's foundation and the kitchen inside were both damaged. The driver of the truck was taken to the hospital. It's been 1 year since Beaverton nurse Melissa Jubain was reported missing. Her body was found 2 days later, and her neighbor, Bryce Schubert, was arrested and charged with her murder. Schubert is due back in court later this week. Jubain's friends and family say they plan to rally outside the Washington County Courthouse to push for justice. The family of Ryan Martin, The man killed in a downtown Portland road rage shooting is suing Multnomah County and Uber for $40 million. They claim the shooter, Jeffrey Hammond, should never have received a concealed handgun license because of prior arrests for assault, and that Uber should have blocked him from driving for the company.
All right, our eyes to the south as rain starts to hit the southern Willamette Valley. Actually had some lightning strikes reported in the last hour down in the Eugene area. So clouds building in, evening showers likely. We could see a shower this afternoon, but certainly by the evening commute. 76 for high and then on and off wet, we think, for Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's get you out the door with a look at the drive times. They are busy but moving. I-5 has cleared out of Clark County, but the end of the line picks up right around Columbia Boulevard. It's pretty heavy from there the rest of the way down into downtown. And there's a look at some of your other drive times. The trip north from Wilsonville right now is averaging about 31 minutes.
Lady Gaga had quite a night at the VMAs, performing her new single, The Dead Dance, as well as picking up the Artist of the Year award. She thanked her fans, reminding them that being an artist is all about making people smile, dance, and dream, and being able to dress however you want. Take a look at that. She always shows up in style. She also picked up 3 other wins here for Best Direction and Best Art Direction for Abracadabra, as well as Best Collaboration for Die with a Smile with Bruno Mars, but there was no time for her to celebrate. She had to rush straight from the award stage last night to her Mayhem Ball concert tour at Madison Square Garden.
So is Abracadabra, you bring me up to speed here, China. You know I'm old and out of touch.
Yeah.
Abracadabra, is that the name of a song?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it a remake of the 1980s classic?
I don't think so.
Abracadabra.
Yeah. I want to reach out and grab you every time you call my name.
I don't think so.
I'll reach out with the burning pain.
Can we mute him? Do we have
Or
that
was
ability?
it
Do we have to pay royalties now for this?
Burning flame, full of desire. Not on the web, not on KGW Plus.
Oh, that's good. Oh, we can do anything we want.
Yeah, we can.
Cool.
Abracadabra.
A reminder,
China is really
you can
annoyed
watch
right
this anytime you want,
grab ya.
live here on KGW Plus. We thank you for your viewership.
Really, thank you.
Really thank you.
Every time you call my name.
Abracadabra.